And Dr. Fay said that before any aspect of brain growth and development could occur, first there had to be a need. First there must be a need for that to happen, and then the facility will occur. So here, babies on the floor have lots of needs. They have lots of reasons as to why they should move. And one of the things that we need to do for our baby is to give them reasons, give them needs that they then can fulfill by crawling around and moving around and getting the things that they want to do.
I've seen some differences between Stephen, who's 3 years old, and Michael because of the timing of starting the floor program. I didn't start the floor program with Stephen until he was maybe 4 or almost 5 months old because I didn't know about it. And as a result, of having a friend whose baby died of SIDS, I used to carry my older son Stephen around in an infant carrier and keep him strapped in face up, and be very afraid about putting him in any other position. And as soon as I found out about the floor program, I liberated him immediately and put him on the floor, and got a crawling track immediately. And within 2 weeks, he crawled right out of the crawling track, started to creep, and he got up, started walking around the furniture when he was 8 months old, and when he was 8.5 months old, was walking. And I'm sure he was still been strapped into some sort of device if I hadn't known it, because of my own fears. And I'm glad to say that my experience with Stephen saved me that experience with Michael, because Michael didn't end up having to waste the first few months of his life looking at the ceiling and having a flat head because he was strapped into all kinds of devices, and we went right to the floor.
Now let's get to some of the details here of the floor environment, how we can set up an ideal floor environment for a baby in order to help them to be mobile. The first thing that we do, of course, obviously, is we put our babies on a warm floor. And if you live around a place like Philadelphia and you're having a baby around this time of the year, it's going to be getting colder and colder, so you're going to need to take certain steps. Hot air rises, so the floor will always be the coolest place in a room, and that means putting weather stripping around your windows and around your doors to cut out those drafts. Do whatever you need to do in order to make the floor warm enough for the baby to be there. Secondly, of course, we put our babies on a clean floor. Now, talk about being barbaric. The idea of walking into someone's house with your shoes on, this is something the Japanese consider to be truly barbaric. So what do we do around here? We all become Japanese. When we have babies, we steam clean those carpets, we clean those floors, we put a big sign up on the door that says, "Baby in house, take your shoes off before you come in the house." And that makes it easy for mom, a lot less cleaning of floors when everybody gets into the habit of taking their shoes on and off. Next, we put our kids on a safe floor. Whatever you have to do, put those plastic things into electrical sockets to stop them from getting their fingers in there, or put barriers across stairwells so they can't crawl or creep into a stairwell and possibly fall down the steps. Whatever you need to do to make the environment totally safe. Then, as we've already told you and you've experienced yourself, we put our babies on a smooth surface in order to reduce the amount of friction between them and the floor. Now, you have that smooth environment in the crawling track. Once babies crawl well enough, they will start to crawl out of the track, and at that point, they can go on to a smooth surface such as a linoleum floor like you crawled on here. A masonite surface. Masonite is light and inexpensive and very smooth. You can get masonite sheets and put them around the house if you happen to have an all-carpet house. A nice smooth environment to begin with, and then we'll go on and tell you what to do after that. Then we put our babies also on a pliable environment, such as you saw in the crawling track. This is when they first start. Like the Eskimo baby's mother, they have a pliable surface where they can dig their toes in and their knees, get traction, and move. The crawling track, they have that pliable surface. Once they're crawling well, then they don't need that pliable surface. You don't have to put it all around the house. The best thing then is for them to have a hard surface because, as you did on the linoleum floor, they can dig their hands, elbows, knees, and feet into that surface. The skin has a rubber